Heretics were able to deal with that presence Scream was creating. I mean, the space he was creating for Liquid as well, not having a duelist to kind of counter that. So, I mean, I've got to say it, that does kind of come down to nukkye having an absolute terrible performance on Ascent. Whether or not you can turn that around, obviously, you know, Bind is Raze's background. Sorry, back garden. It's playground, so to say. Maybe able to, you know, have a little more impact this time around.
10 seconds away from kicking this off now. Liquid have had to dig deep. And by that, they had to activate Scream. You had to go full headshot machine mode to get you to the third map. Whereas Heretics played a pretty respectable game. But now you've got to look at Liquid as, are they playing to not lose? And can they keep facilitating this pace? And it looks like they want to keep it up. But AvovA's got a good read early on. Maybe those steps were heard. But instantly that smoke goes in.
Yeah, the rotation already coming through defensive spawn. loWel actually thinking twice about it. Recon Dart comes through, and the Owl Drone actually going to head through the window, but nothing given away just yet. Heretics holding the line for the time being. Liquid still lurking around outside B mid up towards the window area itself. And pAura, interestingly enough, he's got his camera down inside the window, and he's tucked inside the teleporter. So looking to make a play out of that position, but Liquid actually drifting back over towards A short.
Okay, well, you say that. It's
the spike's
just
staying,
Scream, yeah. And to be fair, if you want to reference Liquid as just Scream, also pretty relevant after last map. But that may change, and I want to see now with that presence noted, at least towards A slightly, what the response is. So far, they've drawn some utility out of one player, but that's about it. pAura's keeping calm here, and I like this, still being present. And if they spot that camera now, okay, game on, they know what's happening. They've got to commit, but pAura's already found one. That's the spike lost. Oh dear, this could be a disaster in the making, but soulcas keeps things at least looking somewhat decent until the party arrived. Heretics just shut down everything. I am in disbelief once again, leaving just Scream alive, but that's always going to be a tough phrase to say, but with 10 seconds, his options are so limited. Tries to isolate a single fight, not going to happen. Down he goes, and Heretics with the first.
That Cypher setup from pAura with the spy cam in window.
Sick. Again,
as soon as that information is relayed, I don't even think Liquid was still anticipating that peek out of the teleporter.
No.
And he's able to come out, do a little bit of damage initially. He's, again, kind of gets caught off by the turret for a little longer than you expect, but here's that opening kill onto Eccles. Again, he's got to come here, but the reinforcements come through. The collapse is absolutely perfect for him, Heretics.
And that's the thing you want to highlight, is that they didn't hesitate for a second. They piled the hell in. As soon as that contact was made, we're having no threats. As soon as that spike was lost, straight in there. And for Heretics, you want confidence building. You want to put Liquid in that danger spot. You want to put them in their back foot position. So economy-wise, it was highlighted, and I'm glad Mitch said it. It is Liquid being quite diligent with how they manage their money. But for now, they are going to have to kind of step back, take a sheriff or two, or maybe just a frenzy, and try and play around that.
Absolutely. Obviously, Heretics, Spectres across the board. Scream comes bursting up short here. nukkye good for two, but Eccles will find that trade. Things will slow down. Obviously, the K's cutting off these sight lines. Liquid going to have to rethink this approach.
Now, nukkye is a question mark that we put towards, can this, you know, be a big delivery moment for him? And I do want to highlight he's at a very good start. And some players will respond better to, even if it is eco frags, that pumps the confidence up. It starts feeling a lot more viable. Let's see if Liquid, though, can make much out of this round. They have got that pick, so there is a chance for a bit more danger. But for now, it hasn't really equated to much. And yeah, with pAura patrolling, you're not going to get much more out of it. Nice work from the Heretics side, keeping most things into control here.
Yeah, just really clean from Heretics there. Again, not really sacrificing too much up. Scream sending up short, I guess, looking to just find anything he can on the way in there. But, I mean, Heretics well equipped to deal with this, the pistols of Liquid, so to say. And again, I mean, you're right. You look for those little victories to build some momentum for a player that has struggled so far.
And again, I know some players in other titles that respond to it even 10 years into their career. They will have a better performance if they start strong. So it can apply even more in this regard. And we see that fun trade out of utility towards showers, always an indicator of intentions, but it is a default from the attack inside. Spread across the map, as you can see on the mini-map, to ensure that no one gets too much information on any side of the map.
And what I'm loving so far, again, we're only in round 3 so far, but pAura rotating, keeping them guessing. Now he's obviously focusing his utility elsewhere, and that's something that can keep a team pretty much second guessing every single round. If they don't know where that free information is going to come from, where their rotation is going to get called out. Meanwhile, Heretics stacking heavily into the window right now. nukkye on site.
Again, though, I want to look at where that spike is. and just highlight this is not going to be a quick, responsive piece. So even if a Scream does get the opening, the spike is still
Spike's here.
He's thinking about it. Someone else can get it, and that would be Link's job. So it does seem as though they are kind of gathering towards the B side. So that does look like that's their intention. And Scream's going to have to potentially crack this open. The double stack towards window is pretty strong, and it may hold back the two players coming their way, leaving the rifle, which is in play for at least one of the Heretic sides, towards holding long. So this is going to be a 30 seconds hit. I get nervous at late round hits, but it's perfect. They've just drawn enough of paranoia that, oh, maybe they're at A, but that double stack's still in place here. There's so much danger aplenty, they can't break through. These trades are not efficient enough, and window is still being held down by Heretics. This is a problem to hold in a post plant.
It is indeed. I mean, we talk about those alternate angles to worry about here, and having the ability to kind of set up coming out of window here. Scream has tucked himself all the way into defensive spawn, so it's going to give some information away, but low will find Eccles on the way in. Now Liquid are down to 2. Scream's got to make something work from this position. Nikkye's going to cut off his sight line here.
Yeah, he can play for the spike, though, and that's what he's going to do. Link doing a similar thing. They've got to call which angle they're holding and create a nice crossfire. Link better hold this line and let Scream do the damage. Going to find one. That's nieSoW down, and now a 2v2 begins. But Link looks flustered, but pulls it back together. Just about finds pAura, leaving loWel now in the 1v2. They are low, but time, it's not on his side. And with the spike ticking, it's going to be Link to chase out. They're going to die for this one. loWel's going to make it costly, but the round will be controlled by Liquid.
Yeah, alluding to the fact maybe Liquid cracking under pressure in the previous map, but maintain composure there. That's how you hold on to control over on B site in a post-plant situation. Again, Scream, just look how much territory he buys. And again, not even concerned about the window situation. Gets in there, feeds that information back over. He's done his job. He's got the 1 kill in.
Yeah, looking back on that, that was pretty valuable. Now, keep in mind, though, that Heretics only had 1 rifle, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was on nukkye. So, yeah, it was. So he's going to be down to, I think, just a Spectre this round. So, again, the economy kind of evening out here. This is going to be far more manageable. We do hear the ultimate being popped as well. Oh, AvovA lucky to be alive.
Yeah, a little bit of damage coming across. I think he's going to rotate all the way out, maybe find this heal from loWel. Scream still with the Blade Storm popped, and Spike making its way over towards this heavy presence towards A for Liquid. And actually AvovA just second guessing the rotation back to B site there. Again, they've got the Cypher utility set up. They have that information, don't necessarily need to commit to holding that side with 3 now, but here comes the push from Liquid.
All right, Scream's definitely seen one. I'm pretty sure the angle was a 50-50. Both could see it, but the first challenge might be AvovA, but you can see the kind of complementing off angle coming in on the site. But this is not subtle. There is no subtlety to what Liquid are doing. This has been very well noted. So they're going to hit against 4 defending players here. nukkye's eyes will turn for a second, and that might be enough for Scream. It's not. And now he's in trouble. Suddenly he has to just take the fights and wins the fights. He's still... Oh! Scream just absolutely beheaded nieSoW. That is going to leave him ringing. pAura and AvovA, just how are you going to come back into this? AvovA's baffled how this has just happened. Surely they had everything on their side, but Scream just did them dirty.
I love how active they're being in the post plant as well here, wrapping all the way back in towards Lamps, forcing both players at Heretics onto back site. Scream now just lurking, looking for an extra one. Now this one comes in a little bit because he saw the barrel. AvovA will fall, he picks out again. Scream is good for 4 here. What a fantastic round from Liquid.
Just call him Aatrox. This man's a world ender. That is absolute filth from Scream. His ult didn't get him the success the damn pistol did.
Oh, he's 2 off ult again.
I don't know what to do when Scream does this. All right, what do you do? Like this, I was like, well, that's it. Guess that's done for.
This double dink is disgusting. Look at that.
And the barrel, oh dear. I could watch that all day long. All day long. That was gorgeous. And you know what, can that be a Red Bull clutch as well? Because I think that deserves to be. Can we go for that? All right, maybe even a Prime Gaming flawless round. Like, apply every goodness on that one because that was just stunning work. Anyway, I need to calm down a bit. It's going to be Heretics on a bit of a half bite.
And a much slower start this time around. Again, Liquid, though, this is what we maybe criticised them for on Split, is when Heretics weren't looking too good in terms of utility, equipment, weapons, whatever. Weren't cautious enough, and Heretics were finding a lot of value in those rounds. This time you can see Liquid's post up, Eccles just holding this angle on B long. For teammates now to back him up, the owl drone comes across, but they don't want to give away these frags to Heretics. pAura swinging out there a little ambitiously, but Scream will find his second on the round now. nieSoW, he's in deep trouble.
Yeah, Scream, it was a mercy killing at that point. Just, I'll put you out of your misery. Don't worry. Have a little nap. Think about next round.
He's checking corners as well.
Oh,
love to see it.
Scream's getting confident. And you know what? If that first map was merely him being activated, that just, okay, I made a meal of that. That was not to my standard, and Scream's gone, let me show you what I can do. This is why I have this price tag. This is why I got these guys picked up by Liquid. This is why I committed to this. This guy walked away from a career in another game. He came into this full intention. Now, this is just kind of an eco bash, but this has been throughout this map so far.
It is indeed. I mean, you talk about Liquid occasionally being a slow starter, but I mean, once they get going, they can build the momentum. This is the byproduct of that. So absolutely fine with seeing Scream step up and have this much impact on a game. It's definitely the expectation of a player like Scream. As we have Liquid here again, a heavy stack into showers actually. They're looking to kind of break this control that loWel is having with that wall, and actually laid over the top. Orbital Strike gets invested as well. Split Liquid up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I love that, but let's see how it kind of unfolds beyond this. Plenty of trades have come through, but mostly favorable towards Heretics. They've held this pretty well so far, and loWel's just kept presence noted. Eccles definitely knows where the player's remaining as well. So Liquid, this is horrible. They barely made it out of spawn.
Down to 2 as well. loWel pushes out, finds his 4th on the round now. Revive on the board. Is he going to invest it? nieSoW very, very tagged up, stuck inside that teleporter. Whether or not loWel is going to opt to get this. Maybe go for the safer revive over on site. Yeah, he's going to get nukkye back on his feet.
I got the spike.
Now that gives them a little bit of reinforcements to close this round out potentially. Kryptix did get control of the spike there, though, as loWel rotated off.
Left.
I like that Kryptix just made a couple of steps there. It might have at least drawn him into a fight, and he's got it. Really well played. Smart play from Kryptix, faking the footsteps, but now he has to kind of commit towards A. He doesn't have time. So it's going to be hard to isolate these fights, but let's see what he can do with it. There's one tucked in on the corner. So, yeah, nicely done in the end by loWel. Very well controlled over towards these showers. He just made it his domain.
He did indeed. And again, yes, the orbital strike, not sure about it, but it splits Liquid up. It allows loWel to get more aggressive from that position.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. This bait from Kryptix was perfect. But yeah, loWel indeed picking up the ace in that previous round.
I like that. Really like that. Nicely played. And again, it's things like that, using utility, and I think that's something that came through not necessarily early in the game, but people are like, oh, you could do damage with this, but actually zoning with that ultimate on Brim is so viable. It just gives you area control.
I mean, Mitch...
Hold on, is this aggressive? I want to just know if Heretics are going to push this one. It could have been an early fight. I don't think they're going to push it, but they might get info. Carry on, sorry.
I was going to say, Mitch and lothar are obviously talking about the use of it onto lamps and onto window, and just how quickly you can force the enemy away from those positions and pretty much gain free entry, or at least gain free ground over towards either of the sites.
Hey, observers, I guess you worked out who's one to watch at the start of rounds? It's like, okay, Scream's getting near an enemy. There's just like an alarm bell starts ringing. For now, let's see what he does with it, though. He's not really committing to this, so I feel as though this is a bit of a show. Going to get that utility building, and I want to see where they now take this. Do they then go through towards window, potentially, where we had that double stack before? Roll your mind back, you'll remember it was there. And I like this. Falling away slightly gives a little bit of paranoia. You could see then Cypher checking on the cam. Oh, are they over by showers? Where are they? They've lost a bit of a track here. This is nice from Liquid, but the reaggress, they haven't pulled players away.
They haven't, and Sky Smoke does come down. They're going to try and clear this out with the molly as well, but... Actually, Orbital Strike invested onto side of Rolling Thunder through window. This is going to be the push coming through here. Liquid going to find the first on the way. Actually, no! Link does fall.
Okay, but where's Scream got to? It looks like he's bounding around behind the scenes for 20 seconds. Where's the spike? It's on the site. And again, yes, the window hold maintains, but now the ultimate gets popped. Does it deny the plant? It does. They're buying time for now. Eccles is back on it. Oh, pAura! It's perfect until Scream again might be just ruining all their fun. But with 7 seconds, surely he cannot do this again. No time for a plant, and that fight is not going to be given. Oh, I guess you need the clock to run out to stop this man.
I mean, Scream getting tucked into the corner in L, but really unfortunately he hasn't got an angle to stop Obviously, the kill coming onto Eccles before the spike can be planted, but I mean, there was a very slow, methodical kind of setup for that execute, and I mean, initially didn't get an awful lot of value off of those ultimates invested, to be honest with you. The push wasn't quick enough.
Okay. Let's see what the buy's like. Again, I do want to try and keep up with the economy. You're going to have to bear with me, viewers at home. I'm getting used to a new UI. Things look a little prettier here, all right? Just want to keep my eyes on it. It does seem as though they should be fine. It looks like Heretics have enough to fashion a purchase, as do Liquid, of course. 4-3, a decent scoreline for now. Obviously tied up if you're just tuning in, 1-1 in this series so far. We did see the activation of Scream in the previous, and it seems to have carried on. However, into this, though, Scream still tendering for that early fight. Not subtle, no nuance to it, just throw me into them, and I'll get you the headshot you need.
Doing more Scream things. How does he get away with that one? The trap wire activated, though. loWel will respond onto that. Hunter's Fury invested from soulcas. And that's it, yeah. They've run all the way back through market. And they're going to be able to catch soulcas on the rotation after that ultimate.
Yeah, this is really well handled. I loved that trade coming in for Heretics, but now Liquid have to quicken the pace. But it looks like Brim's already over here. Where's the Brim? Where's AvovA?
AvovA's in elbow.
Yeah, exactly. So this is perfect. That smoke being put down has cost them everything. He's watched the cross, information now relayed. You've got Sova coming over. nieSoW's over there now. Link's on the site, but they don't have the element of surprise, and they want to fight towards CT. Oh, that's sick. Really nice. Don't give up that map control. Fight for it, but where do they go?
Are they about to wrap A? It looks like they might have a beat on exactly how Heretics have played this one out. You can see loWel pushed all the way through market.
They're running back towards A.
Oh my god, they could get backstabbed here if they've read this perfectly.
It's the switcheroo. The attackers are now on the defensive side of A, but now the spike can go down safely. This is so well handled.
This is huge, though. To have control of backside in heaven in a post-plant situation is going to make it very difficult for Heretics.
Yeah, this is a horrible retake. You were never expecting to be here, and now you've even got a harder element to deal with.
Yeah, and the lockdown being invested in heaven, they cannot destroy that from here. nieSoW does find the first one on the way in. Eccles will fall. AvovA has a little corner to tuck himself into. Nobody locked down from that one. AvovA finds the second. It's all on Kryptix now from heaven. The turret lighting up, give the information over. loWel finds that one. That is a fantastic retake from Heretics.
They deserve that every day of the week.
Absolutely.
What a weird round, though. Like, talk me through that again, because we had such weird action. We had, I want to highlight, who was it? AvovA. Over on that kind of like L-bend area. As soon as that smoke down towards window, he's playing the time.
Yeah, and he's bought so much time for his team. And even though they catch another kill over on the B site, and again, I mean, we talked in map 1 about Liquid and audibles. That's a fantastic example of how quickly they can react to that information.
And you can see what happens when good trades come in. You have to trade him. He will get you the kill Scream. He will get you that. But if you're willing to trade out, you're back in the game. So yeah, this is kind of how it seemingly wrapped up, I believe. And yeah, it was a little bit of a questionable round. It was good fun to watch, though.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the stats here. Scream obviously on another tear, 13 and 4. But I'm looking elsewhere. soulcas 2 kills, Eccles 3 kills, Link 1 kill. I mean, it's pretty similar on the other side, but.
But what I want to highlight is this is a timeout for Liquid, and I love this. This is time to discuss and kind of roll it back, because yes, we can depend on Scream, but we need more. Something that we can replicate. We need the surrounding factors, those foundations. That should be the discussion. How do we approach this now? Because Heretics have had a decent beat on them. They've done quite nicely to get 5 rounds. They've been pretty weird rounds at times, but repeatable rounds, I feel, for Heretics more than Liquid.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree with that. And I mean, it's an interesting point to make at this point. Really, is the start of the rounds. I mean, Liquid aren't playing that same kind of pace that they were on Split, which kind of caught them off guard a few times. Kind of put them into a weird spot. This time around, again, a very slow approach here.
Yeah, and one thing I like to say, I love seeing utility used on one side of the map, and then the player goes all the way over to the other. Used to see it with Sage, with you know, the slow coming in. I love these sort of little elements to display more power towards a site than there is. I don't know. It is weird. We've got a double stack towards Showers and an aggressive stack. Sage has pushed beyond this, but we do need to see the player on the side stay alive. loWel has done so well. soulcas is dead, and now they're going to be so confused and surrounded. Scream's on an island, and he needs to deliver. This is a pressure moment for him, and these are angles you're not expected to clear. However, with Kryptix now going down, this is a horrible round for Liquid, and a gorgeous one for Heretics. Oh, this is stunning work. Watch this back. How to play defensive aggression. Link can do the best he can. can, but this looks all wrapped up with a bow on it. He's isolated another, but the trade comes in. Sick round from Heretics.
Yeah, I mean, nukkye getting 2 from that spot. The Cloudburst, unfortunately, not cutting off that sight line, and when he finds that second there, it's all but done for Liquid. I mean, Scream's backed into a corner. He's still heavily focused on clearing out lamps. There's nobody there. There's nobody giving him anything because of that weird setup in the early round. 3 over to Showers, 4 of Liquid pushing up short.
But do remember, there was that constant back and forth of utility from Liquid put into Shower. Now we've seen that when it's not there, Heretics are willing to push that. And I mean, any Sean Gares fans out there, I know there's millions of you, he loves to talk about the trade out of utility and showing intention. So as soon as they didn't show it, I love seeing a team exploit that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic to see, especially if you can give away the information of 2 agents over on one side of the map and then completely pivot off that. Like you said, throw the rotation down. The recon dart goes over on B site. Hold that thought. Oh, again, finding value. We saw him do it on short on Ascent. We're seeing him do it again here on Showers on Bind. Just finding value from playing the same position over and over again.
Yeah, and soulcas needs to be a little bit careful. To my knowledge, he's the only one with a rifle for Liquid here, so it's a bit of a hero rifle, and it's now unrecoverable. That's a problem. That's now lost and cannot be retrieved to the next player unless they commit into a dangerous scenario. Good work from Kryptix. Nice shot, and Scream, hold on. He's got a little bit of something to be said about this. I want to see what he can do now. Damage maybe could be found.
Yeah, nieSoW, got to be careful. He's in a weird spot to be the last man standing on A site. pAura still over on B. Invested on relying on that utility, but Spike will go down on A site right now. AvovA pushing in solo. This is a weird play from Heretics.
Yeah, but look at all the guns recovered for Liquid. They're now on a full buy round, basically. They are sorted in this. AvovA has something to say about the matter. Isolating Scream is excellent. He now knows there's more close by. Now takes the pressure moment. Perfect play from AvovA. And now, where is Kryptix in all of this? He still has a smoke. Oh, this is so smart. This is going to make Kryptix sweat bullets. He has to peek through, and he's going to lose out. Liquid fans given just a little bit of copium, and then it's ripped away.
I mean, that was huge. He actually had another smoke to spare on top of that as well. He had full utility for the retake. I mean, just I questioned it at first, AvovA walking into lamps when pAura was barely through the defensive spawn. One thing I will say, I'm glad that one came up. nukkye has looked so much better this time around. And again, it just goes to show when that one player steps up and maybe aligns better with you know, the team's performance, what kind of difference it makes. Because look at this scoreline now.
7-3. This starts getting scary territory for Liquid, because you still have Scream doing well, but on the attacking side, it's not quite as much as you'd want maybe for now. And I've got to say, loWel has basically cut off half of this map. Not allowing shower presence gives so much information. Now, it looks like a contact piece up long, and when I say that, it's when they're being quiet about it. Now, the first bit of utility will be heard. Hearing the owl drone here gives away their intentions, but Scream has not made any noise at this point. A couple of steps. Might have given away a little bit of presence. I'm not sure if the Cypher on the other side is close enough.
And the important thing here, I mean, Link does have the orbital strike to invest. Again, orbital strike for AvovA as well. Not an awful lot of utility, so Heretics still able to buy time here if necessary.
Look how passive they are, because look at where Sage is.
Yeah.
Have a look.
It's just, they can play this as slow as they want on B.
Yep. They can sit passive, sit safe. Okay, hold a deep angle, because we know where they're going. Yeah, okay, yeah, ult the site. Fantastic. None of us are there. This is all wasted. Liquid not defaulting is going to be a problem. That is lovely. That Molotov might have just brought this back, but here comes the counter ultimate. Pours that one in. Nothing to really come from it, but it denies at least a quicker plant. Now pAura needs to be on point. Good for 2, not for 3. And now a 3v2 begins. Link's going to just drag that over the line for Liquid for now. But the spike does need to be dealt with, and keep your eyes on loWel here. Working his way up. nukkye just needs to stay alive. He's going to make a nuisance of himself, and that's the spike now lost. The post plant was in window. This is a huge issue now for Liquid.
Yeah, no smokes as well for Link, so they've got to jump out, they've got to commit this, they've got to take the aim battle.
10 seconds!
loWel now holding the line outside, he's going to get wallbang! Kryptix finds a wallbang as well! They somehow come out on top of that. That looked all but wrapped up for Heretics.
They just had to live.
Yeah.
They could have played post plant. Oh my, just a little bit of a moment there could have been made. And a case could have been made for Heretics winning that, but that little bit of nerves just kicking in. I'm sure they'll kick themselves in hindsight, but look back on this round. This round is why information is king.
It is, I mean, straight away again, like you said, Orbital Strike goes down on site. It doesn't matter. loWel's over there. He's feeding that information. They know that they can sit back in defensive spawn. They can sit in elbow. They can wait for Liquid to have to jump out of window and take those awkward aim battles, you know, waiting for that recoil reset. It's just fantastic to see the way Heretics are kind of dealing with this control that loWel is putting up. Another early push here from Scream again, shut down a little bit by the Aldo. pAura actually going to swing on this one.
Okay, don't bait pAura, because he'll take that fight and he'll take it further. You really want to encourage that behavior? No, now you don't. And now Heretics are holding this down. It looked like Liquid wanted a quicker pace, and they might regret these choices.
Yeah, it's soulcas, last man standing. loWel going to get pAura back on his feet. Molly comes through for good measure. Unfortunately, doesn't catch soulcas before he makes it through the teleporter. A little bit of utility over here still, but two members of Heretics going to follow him through the TP here. Hunter's Fury gets invested. It's bang on the money, soulcas. I mean, he can't catch a break. Yeah.
We actually might have an upset here. Quite genuinely might have an upset. It's 8-4 Liquid. I thought they had this one really working for them. I thought that initial start, yeah, not bad. Okay, Scream's looking deadly. All right. But then Heretics have just turned up.
Yeah, I mean, just a fantastic setup from Heretics time and time again. And like I said, the way in which they're putting all this information from loWel to effect is so great to see. And it all comes down to putting a wall at the start of the round.
Okay, I need to kind of catch my breath here because I'm seeing a world where Liquid lose out in quarterfinals. I see a world where Scream might not make it out of quarterfinals, which is a storyline that we kind of considered, but I didn't expect to see it.
I'll be honest, I mean, I was excited to see Heretics. pAura's been one of my favorite players to follow throughout the last few months. I mean, even thinking back to that kind of dynamic duo with Turco and pAura on Prodigy. So it's really fantastic to see him land in a team. And what's also fantastic is for them to kind of, I guess, really exceed my expectations here initially in game one. They look absolutely fantastic.
Okay, let's hold on for a second because we're going to take a moment to review some of what we just witnessed, which was absolute madness. So let's head over to a quick little moment with the desk to break down some curiosities, I'm sure.
Thank you very much, Pansy. We have been throwing the word upset around today, and I sort of want to discuss that because after everything we've seen from Heretics, are we really considering what's happening as an upset, lothar?
For me, it's not an upset. It's kind of like a, let's say, smaller chance of expectations, right? But for the public eye, I would say this is an upset because it's a lesser known team coming into a big tournament against the Team Liquid with Scream, you know, spearheading this organization, while this is the Heretics that I have known from watching their VODs. Well played on every single angle, not only being aggressive, but also played aggressively, like smart aggression, you know? Pushing, getting map control on defense, that is cutting off certain angles, and it gets so much information for the rest of the team, so they are prepared of what's happening. Team Liquid was actually just playing kind of like a half of the map, most of the time. And 3/4 were taken by Heretics. You know, it's a map control that I would love to see in stats, if possible, at some point. Maybe it will be, because I think Heretics is absolutely crushed Liquid in map control.
Yeah, 100%. I think we saw that on the previous map as well. Obviously, the end result wasn't quite the same as what we've had here. One thing I want to highlight is the fact that we've been throwing the word upset around, sure, and I've been upset with the performance of soulcas in this tournament. Very, very much so. Like, this is the biggest tournament in Valorant EU history. Certainly brings a lot of pressure with it. But the role that soulcas is playing, certainly on the Raze, we said 9, 10 kills. He finished that half 3. And the scoreline 8-4 could have been so much worse. That clutch where they found the 2v2
that was
spray
so
down,
lucky.
that was unbelievably lucky. To find 1 kill on the spray down is enough. 2, when they 10 seconds left to get the spike and plant it, that was insanely lucky. This should be 9-3 at a minimum. And for Liquid, that is scary. And you've got players that are not showing up. Both soulcas and Eccles finished that half out with 3 kills each.
While nukkye kind of showed up for Heretics in the meantime.
Absolutely, nukkye did. We've also seen loWel. He's got 18 kills at the moment going into half number 2. And the thing for me, Scream as well, in the late stage, when it actually matters, he wasn't there either. Like when he started out, we had 12 kills in the first 4 rounds, 5 rounds. And a lot of those were like versus the weaker weapons in the pistol, so on. But then when it comes to the buy rounds, there was nobody here for Liquid. This was a flat performance. And we are on the final map. If they get knocked out in this tournament, there will be roster changes. There's no way that Team Liquid can afford to have the kind of reputation they do in Europe right now. And that mounts even more pressure. And based on how we've seen them respond to that in the past, in the previous 2 maps, I'm not very confident.
Mitch, am I getting this right? Are you saying that if they lose today, they have to kick soulcas? Because that's what I'm hearing.
I mean, you said that. You said that, not me. So whatever nieSoW thinks, I mean, I just said changes in general. Maybe I meant agent composition changes within the roster. I don't know. soulcas has to go, though. I heard that.
Ah, okay. I mean, I won't put you on the spot too much. I do feel like we are beating this next point to death, but I would really love to take a look at the pistol round one more time because it is one of the reasons, and it's sort of kind of like the perfect example as to why Heretics are winning.
I don't understand what happened here because Team Liquid had perfect information that someone is in the teleport all the time because they heard it in the beginning of the round. They were waiting for him to peek, and yet they left Eccles alone there when they executed on site. So this was really sloppy from Team Liquid, and I don't really understand what was happening. Would love to hear the communications there because Eccles should have just gone probably long B if he didn't know that there's someone in the teleport, but he should know. And even when he did go to hookah in the big window, there should be someone from Team Liquid securing him, you know, to allow him to go there to them and just meet up in window.
I would love to hear the communications for both of these teams actually throughout this series, because I think that would be very interesting, and I think we will find some kind of contrast. But before I throw this over to Pansy and Hypog, Mitch, I sort of want to hear from you what you think the Team Liquid need to do in the next half to make sure that they're not embarrassed by this and they don't just go home this way.
I mean, I don't think there's an easy solution here. You've got a team of Heretics who are well organized. They are the team that I would argue they're even better than the team that we expected to see coming in. And that's not taking the general community who might not know them that well. That's taking the research we've done, what we're hearing about them. And you're contrasting that with Scream. Okay, yeah, he's got 14 kills. But again, in the rounds that mattered, in the buy rounds, not really there. I think he's probably had about as much mid to late half impact as Eccles and soulcas have. So you have got now basically nobody winning aim duels on the Liquid side. I don't think there is a way to fix this past people maybe DMing for the last 10 minutes, like practice their crosshair on the server. That's all I can see.
I have only one advice. Just win a pistol round because it's going to be horrible if you don't do that.
Exactly. And speaking of that, we are going to head into the second half. Let's see if Team Liquid can actually win a pistol round today.
I guess, yeah, that's the way to start it, right? Pistol rounds, it is the first go-to. And traditionally, we'd give credit to Liquid for their creativity and some of their previous results. They did well. Not today.
No, haven't seen it today. Haven't seen anything to back up that stat line, to be honest with you, which was a talking point coming into this game.
Very much so.
You've got to say, you know, it's a talking point versus a team like Heretics that haven't necessarily had time to establish those kind of small things that become important in pistol round synergy and you know, these fast executes. But yeah, I mean, lothar kind of closed that off perfectly. If they lose this pistol round, it's like terrifying scoreline.
Yeah, you do get into...
It already is a terrifying scoreline,
yeah.
by the way.
Okay, we're not going to pull punches here. This is on Liquid.
Yeah.
To step the hell up. You don't get to come into this and go out in quarterfinals with your name being Team Liquid. You deserve and are expected to deliver excellence. And we've seen occasions of it, but we have not seen the consistency that I wanted out of them, nor the preparation for this. If they've been aiming too high, too far ahead, that's their own problems. Heretics were ready to take the fight in front of them. And as much as, yes, this will be remembered as potentially the crumbling of Liquid, do not doubt that Heretics were at the helm of this. These guys have led the damn way, and they should be proud of what they've done. But let's see if they can seal the deal. Liquid need this pistol or it's bust.
Yeah, and initially, heavy stack from Heretics over towards the window. The turret going to give that information away. Scream already rotating through the defensive spawn. AvovA finds an entry though. soulcas will fall. nieSoW, all the information going over off that Aldo. Kryptix is good for one. Scream finds a second. And actually, looking like they're responding here. nieSoW and AvovA, both low HP, but Scream will fall on site.
Okay, where's Link in all of this? We have to see it from his perspective here. He's left in the 1v2 to potentially give Liquid the chance back into this. And now cut off from one direction, funneled to the other, isolates the fight, can't get it. AvovA does it with 3 kills. And there goes that pistol round.
I just want to say something right there. That's like zero respect kind of pistol round there.
Love it.
Brute force.
Yep.
They find their way in again. This owl drone is huge from window. Kryptix does well to find pAura down on long. Scream finding 2 is huge as well. And at this point there, I mean, Scream's then committed to holding site, and that's the problem. As soon as nieSoW is able to get out and close that distance, it's tough for Scream to do more from there.
And this is going to put the money under the microscope here for Liquid, because they can't take a round where they're not feeling dangerous, because it's instantly double digits. So even here, judges, we've got everything coming out. Just get an investment going and get us around. Oh, Lord, this is going to get real sketchy real fast.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing to consider is, take it with a pinch of salt, Heretics' track record on bind is flawless. And the one thing I will say is they have a very, very strong attack in half. Usually, I mean, hovering around a 65% win rate here, as we see loWel and nieSoW. loWel back in familiar territory in the showers. Looking back over, Sky Smoke's come through, and here comes the explosion. Link going to find one initially, but Heretics get front site control.
But I like the fact that he pushed up into shower to try and maintain pressure, but nieSoW seems very aware of this. Now, the spike does go down, so the plant is there, but it's a bit sketchy, to say the least. Now, they are winning out the duels, though, and there we go. Suddenly, the pendulum swings once again, and Liquid were in the right place. They had 4 players there, and they still did 1 kill.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now's the time to worry if you're a Liquid fan, because this is double digits now. Again, a little bit of investment coming back in from Liquid as well, so you've got to consider the economic position here. Really finding AvovA, but down to 6 HP for Eccles, and he will clean that one up with the Spectre. This is scary. This is very, I mean, it's great for Heretics, but it's scary to consider that Liquid weren't able to put up more of a fight here on the decider.
Yeah, I think what we look at, and the big deciding point is, do they get a gun round in? Hopefully they should at least get 1, but it may be with not just match point, but series point against them. So we have to wait and see for this. This is a little playback of just the end of this, and yeah, it looks like they're going to go on towards the Sheriffs, and again, a slightly viable, a slightly dangerous purchase, but not much.
Yeah, a few Sheriffs actually, and a Bucky and a Spectre in the hands of Link and Eccles.
Get out of my way!
Heretics holding up to 4 SMGs. The Spectre's still on the board, and loWel opting for the Phantom. Liquid looking like they're going to rotate over to try and stop another push onto A. Eccles has got himself pushed up all the way in window. So a little bit of information gathered from Liquid, and they're trying to react based off of that. I mean, so far, looking good. Heretics are here with the spike, looking to push up short.
Yeah, they have peeled away the extra player back towards B, maybe hearing steps potentially up through middle or an intonation or 2, but Heretics are playing a very loose style here. They're being a nuisance, and Scream's going to be good for 1, but now here comes the rotation. They have managed to spot out, or at least note there is a player towards window.
Oh,
good work. This is
no.
great damage coming in. Eccles is trying to do something for his side, and there's still the player on the side. I was questioning soulcas wrapping back around early, but the Sheriff looks so safe in his hands, but it's loWel left in a 1v3. Trying to isolate 1 towards CT, he does get the chance, but Scream says hello, and we might be saying goodbye. It does seem as though Kryptix is going to wrap it up and give a chance to Liquid.
That's huge from Eccles, by the way.
Yep.
How he has found 2 with the Bucky there, that should have been traded immediately from Heretics. Especially with the information we saw, just a glimpse. pAura did manage to tag him with the spy cam. But just watch this here. You see he's taking the dart out. He's still hovering on the box here. The first one comes through. Unfortunately, pAura runs out of ammo. He's not able to convert that. So Eccles, I mean, kind of sealing the deal for Liquid in that round.
Okay, it's the first step. We have to treat this as potentially, building blocks. And the economy can't falter. They cannot have an individual pop off against them. There are so many conditions that are now going to mount against Liquid, and this is the true pressure. This is when it really has to matter.
I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate it, but, in terms of buy rounds, if they win this one out, they're only really... they can only really afford 1 more mistake in terms of a round loss after that, because, obviously you lose that, especially if it's kind of 3 or 4 deaths on the side of Liquid. They're going to struggle to buy back into it. Hold that thought, though. Scream will open this round up. pAura will fall, and Heretics looking to force the issue once again onto the B site.
Nice plant. This is great. Heretics have just quickened the pace and playing a very messy style that's very hard to contain and control and keep composure on. This puts instant pressure towards Liquid, and even with the lighter weaponry, you've now divided the site into very manageable chunks.
But good damage control from Liquid, not giving away more than 1 life. Sorry, from Heretics, sorry.
Yep.
Only giving away 1 life, pAura falls, so they find themselves in a 4v5 situation trying to hold on. The flank comes through. Actually, Scream will push out, find loWel. He's still hiding inside the tube, good for 1. Just comes down to 1 man, nukkye. He's had a much better performance this time around, but that's a tall order. Scream good for 4 on this round, and I mean, yeah, it's great. Scream doing Scream things. Can he keep up this momentum for another 4 rounds?
To be fair, I don't think that was particularly, like, yes, he did nice to pick up those kills, but they weren't like, if I look back at the key rounds, it's when he's like cracking open sites. Like, this is fine. Like, he really did keep it safe, but this retake I think would have been okay. Oh, I don't want to say that because they've been whiffing a lot, but yeah, no, it was good that Scream was there. I'll leave it at that. Now, money-wise, did Scream get the rifle? Yes. Okay, so I was just looking at the purchase here. They do have the op-out on Link, and I'm curious to see where they place this. It looks like just maybe safely back at Heaven, so I guess that could allow a player to float towards A or away from A, should I say. Maybe Scream can be the one to do so, but it looks like AvovA is going to get a bit of a freebie towards shower control. Now, if you remind yourself how heavily fought for that was by the likes of like loWel, you know, constantly being a nuisance in there, this is a bit different, but Scream's getting curious, and Curiosity didn't kill him. It was nieSoW on the other side. Beautiful work, a bit of a hit and run. Dips out of there, and that is just... It must be nice to be able to do that, you know?
I mean, I want to know what his first blood is for the series, to be honest with you, because it's time and time again. loWel actually going to invest the revive here, get nieSoW back on his feet, and Heretics still looking like...
I like that soulcas is pushing.
Yes.
As soon as they heard that, he's instantly on the push. This is great. Scream back in again. This is really good work from Liquid to keep the information flowing. Now, Heretics can still do damage here, though.
They can indeed. No Sky Smokes left. Everything invested to get onto front of sight. And actually, loWel boosting up above Dark. Loses life for that. Cheeky little play on top of the wall. Scream hovering outside bench, trying to find something. Eccles now going to look to clear through lamps. He should find the first one on the way in here. He does. He actually finds the second as well. 2 kills with a judge.
Yeah, absolute perfection. pAura now. Last one alive. And last one to fall. But no problem again. Liquid now building. We've got 7 rounds on the board. And this is why I said we wait for the gun rounds.
Yes.
We wait until the money comes in. And Jett, if they'd had the pistol, very different looking scoreline this would have been. It wasn't how it went down in the end, really. But in my mind, it's more that Liquid have stabilized here. This is stabilizing for now, but we've also seen a very loose style from Heretics.
We have indeed, and the problem with playing loose and you know, spreading this wide on a default is Scream's able to do things like that. He can swing out short and isolate a 1v1. I think the more Heretics allow him to do that, I mean, it goes without saying, the worse it's going to become, because Liquid right now are kind of riding that wave. There's still 3 players under 10 kills for Liquid. Scream up to 23 now.
So this has been a tactical timeout for Heretics coming in, and I think that's the perfect option for them. Discuss before things get too far down the line. You've currently got a little bit of a buffer, sure. You've got a couple of rounds to play with, which is perfect. You've got a little bit there, but you don't want to let this spiral, which is the perfect time to call this, I feel.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this would have been the big question for me, and I know we touched on this on the desk coming into this game, is how well Heretics are equipped. You know, how deep is the playbook? What answers are they going to have for Liquid? Because we know Liquid are arguably the best prepared team in this entire tournament.
Okay, 8 seconds. Turret's still doing his darndest. Look at that guy go, a little cutie. But yeah, we are back into the fray now. Link once again up on the op. I'm looking at Kryptix, I'm looking at everyone here actually to start turning up. And it does seem as though they are, but Heretics' purchase here is very weak in comparison.
All right, it's Heretics again leaning towards A side. 3 members of Liquid here to hold the line. soulcas going to send the AvovA out. Information's going to come out that one person's made it into lamps already. That's nukkye on the Raze. Actually, 2 tags coming out from the AvovA and from nieSoW. There's a lot of information to garnish. Eccles finds the first. Showstopper did get invested there, but no value whatsoever.
So far, this is good for Liquid. They're keeping them at arm's length, which is exactly what you want to do with rifles.
Oh, no.
You do want to let those SMGs get close, and you're showing exactly why when Liquid play well, it looks good. They are composed, they are calm, and they don't let threats begin. So for now, nieSoW and AvovA, okay, try and find a pick. Try and be as dangerous as you can be. But for now, you're getting nothing for free.
Yeah, absolutely right. Again, the turret gets... Oh my god. Okay. I was going to say, it's a matter of time before that spots nieSoW, the turret getting put right in front of him. Link will find AvovA elsewhere. nieSoW, like you said, just wants to do some damage before falling. Fault line comes through. Going to make it very difficult for him to do anything here.
30
Scream
seconds left.
foaming at the mouth outside lamps for this extra kill. Again, this is all momentum for Liquid.
He's just begging someone to feed as first. Uh-oh. No mistakes. Thank you, Scream. Okay, Liquid, again, the next step up the mountain. Okay, the way I do this in other games, if Liquid hit double digits, then I talk about the comeback. And that's how we're going to treat this. Until that point, Heretics are still doing fine.
I mean, I'll go ahead and say it would be a throw if Heretics don't close this out. Winning pistol as well, getting that advantage. I mean, this is fantastic so far from Liquid. What a response. After, you know, some questionable conclusions to these rounds. They're digging deep, and I mean, it's still on. It's still on. This is an important round, though, in terms of economy, in terms of the equipment now. Obviously, Heretics, after those save rounds, they've managed to amass up to 3 ultimates. So looking good in that regard, but Liquid do have ultimates in response.
But this is the thing. Sometimes I feel like Liquid are just, you know, we get Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes we get this composed attacking squad that has this wonderful approach to rounds. They're very well considered. But then sometimes it's this manic awkwardness. They forget a spike plant. They forget bits and pieces that just should never be there. For now, though, we are getting the good side of Liquid. We're getting a little bit of a hectic side of Heretics. Never going to say that again. But they are back on the buy, and I gave kind of room for Liquid to get the guns out, so I'm going to do the same. And now this is where I look at Heretics and go, let's see what your answers are.
Well, this is the thing now. You look at the economy. Liquid now are well-equipped to give away 1, potentially 2 rounds, and it's not going to break their economy. And that's huge in this situation. When you've mounted this comeback, that's when we talk about things snowballing. And Liquid are a team that time and time again demonstrate how effective momentum is in Valorant.
Okay, AvovA just playing up towards long. Nothing too much to talk about. Very as is. No one gifting freebies here. It does look like Scream's getting quite close to this, though. And they're playing contact, so they'll pick up the pace now. And it looks like Scream's going to get involved. He knows there's another...
My God!
The third! The man can't be stopped. That third kill was ridiculous. He has just dismantled Heretics.
I mean, that's it. That's the push stops. I mean, the way Liquid have been playing, that's the round over. They're going to be able to obviously collapse over to this. They haven't got control of the spikes. There's still a possibility for some magic. We know how effective loWel has been. As I say that, a fine Scream over in window. 2v4 situation. It's doable, and not nukkye catching that shot dart. A lot of damage done out there. loWel will heal him up a little bit. But wow, I mean... that's just absolutely huge. And we're seeing it consistently from Scream. Again, being in a one-and-done spot and finding 3 kills is just crazy.
Yeah, truly. Heretics, though, still have a chance to isolate a fight here if they...
What?
Wait, how did he just get 2? How did he just get given 2 kills? Isolating a fight was the sentence, no more. That's going to be a plant as well. 13 seconds, they can't stop this anymore. And retaking with an op is horrific as well. Ultimate invested. Kryptix and Link are now sweating bullets. This was never meant to be the scenario. This was a 2v4, and now it's a 1v2. Kryptix, where are you? Raze comes in, safety net's there. Kryptix now has to go big, or this is a disaster in the making. 1 kill is fine. The second isn't necessary, but now the third. Surely, the ultimate's up, it's over. Surely this is done for. AvovA just needs to play smart to the FOFA. He gets it at the end. What on earth did we just see?
That was crazy. Again, one of the most back and forth rounds. If you pick up 3 kills like this, there is no way you should be losing this round. I gotta say it, why is Scream pushing out window in a 5v2 situation and giving away a kill in that manner? But then, not only that, loWel finds 2 on site after that.
I don't know. I don't know how you give up 2 kills like this.
Just quickly though, loWel getting that revive. We talked about Brimstone, how effective he is in buying time in a post-plant, denying that defuse. The orbital strike comes through. The important thing, he still had a Molotov after that as well.
Yep. Heretics. Okay, 11 rounds now. And that is going to be a spirit breaker for Liquid too.
Did you see the face?
Yep.
Did you see the face?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Scream though, nice work on the first. Going to pick up loWel for free almost, back away. No possibility for a trade, but you can see soulcas now trying to find his own information if possible. Going to get it, but instantly going to lose out on the drone. But this is all the back and forth. This is the trade out of information garnering, but of course Heretics having to operate with just 4 here. And loWel's he's been pretty good, honestly, at kind of bailing them out of some tricky spots, but...
Rolling Thunder invested down A short. We did see Scream actually dash across to follow up on that. A little bit of information gone across to Liquid, but pAura has snuck his way into Elbow. He finds out when the Neural Theft actually going to give away Link's position. He's got the Operator over in the defensive spawn. pAura doesn't want to peek that one. Cyber Cage going to go down and cut off some of the sight lines for Liquid, but site control going over to Heretics here. They've got themselves on. They're going to be able to get the spike down.
Yeah, I want to see that plant come in,
left.
though. Still waiting for that to come through. They are all being held back in this exact angle. If one of them pushed up here on the attacking side, you'd have potentially seen a lot of map control going through. This could be nice. Much damage, didn't see too much come through. Maybe missed it there, but we do still see ults available. Scream has his, but they need this kill. And wait, AvovA's done more again. The trades, yes, but they're sloppy. And pAura is not. pAura is on point, and he's locked this one down. Heretics were at a player deficit at the start here. They were operating with 4. They found a free site. They've got the spike down, and this is surely a 12.
The team kill just came through again. Time not really on Link's side. Does have 2 Sky Smokes, but the Hunter's Fury is pulled all the way into B long here. Perfect lineup for it. Going to be able to buy loads of time and just force Link into a tough spot here. He's actually going to swing around, try and save the Operator now. That was close though. nukkye killing his own teammate with the nade.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
Okay, Link even losing out on the op there as well.
Match point.
I mean, their spirits are broken. I'm sorry, that previous round, you cannot allow that to happen. We're talking about, you know, cracking under pressure. That, for me, is sloppy to see here at the 11th hour on the deciding map from Liquid.
And Heretics,
Smiles all around.
you're starting to see those smiles creep in. They know what they've done. They've broken the backs of Liquid here. And the money, I don't know how it's sitting. I'm not sure. They did have enough to at least get through a couple of bad rounds. They built up. But they're against not just map point, match point. It's do or die here for Liquid, and I cannot believe they've dipped out in this fashion. Link, though, still clawing it, holding this on. Scream beheads loWel, and there's still a chance for them. But Heretics have been dirty in the way they're doing this. They've worked out scenarios like this at a deficit. They've played this smart, and once again, they're building towards it.
I mean, I'm not even going to say anything here, regardless of what advantage is given over in the early round. pAura pressuring over towards Elbow now. Going to get a little bit of control of that side of the site. The lockdown invested here, and the Nano Swarm over on default is going to force nieSoW off temporarily. nukkye actually going to bail all the way out. Eccles finds pAura. nieSoW did look as if he was going to go and try and shut down the ultimate. Wasn't able to do so. Molotov comes through. nukkye going to walk through. Can't find the shot through the cloud burst, and Link going to find it with a Phantom. So Liquid accosted one more chance here, but no more mistakes. Absolutely zero from them.
It's quite hard to keep replicating this sort of thing, though.
Exactly,
That was a kind of one-off piece, but have they broken the money? It's enough to at least get Spectres out. So this could be 10 to 12 now, potentially. Now, Heretics, excuse me, look like they're quite well equipped with how to deal with these rounds, though. I like how they approach some of them. They seem to have a plan in mind. So yeah, he's dropped another 30, has he?
Another 30 bomb from Scream. And look how difficult it is for them to close this map out, even having said that.
Okay, Link towards AvovA. I'm looking to see if any of threats from Heretics come through. That's what we're looking for. Do these pistols get to an area they can do damage? Does pAura get a freebie? Is there any mistakes coming out from Liquid that opens up the chance to close? Because Heretics, again, are going to be working with less. And pAura gets a fight, doesn't win it out, sadly. We're going to keep seeing Heretics kind of pour bodies at this. It feels kind of like they're going in one by one by one.
Yeah.
Just going to try and recover the gun. And just pedal away.
Maybe, I guess, looking to do a little bit of damage in terms of economy here. Heretics, I'll be surprised if they can turn this one around in their favor. nukkye now with the Guardian. Try and get something. Actually, Eccles going to swing out from underneath glass. Actually, soulcas did get the tag, but he doesn't want to re-peek onto that, but give it up to Scream to find one of those. nieSoW and loWel, the last two standing for Heretics here.
Spike to hand. And a 2v1 potentially on the
30
B site.
seconds
now,
left.
it is Scream and he's playing safe. They're probably I don't say happy to play a retake if they have to, but they could do. Aldrone goes in, so they know at least one player of the two is here. It looks like they're going to aggress towards the site itself now. Spike going to be working its way through. No initial challenge from Scream, playing quite reserved here. That's going to be about 10 seconds.
10 seconds left.
On the clock,
10
and they
seconds
do
left.
need to get that spike down now if they want to try and be a danger in this one. And it looks like they're going to get the plant for free, but the retake should be pretty crisp, unless one of these two is going to pop off.
One enemy remaining.
Scream just updrafted over that wall. Absolutely no nonsense from Scream. Yeah, we'll get that retake nice and clean. Again, get the spike down, a little bit of a few pennies in the back pocket. Whether it becomes a factor here, but Heretics 12 rounds to Team Liquid's 10. This is I mean, you couldn't ask for a better opening match for this tournament, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this has been an excellent display between both of these teams. Heretics, for those in the know, will have kind of, I don't want to say expected this, but you'd have expected a close game, which is kind of what we got, even in a very weird way of getting there. But now we have the full purchase coming out from Heretics. This is where Liquid are going to start getting a little nervous, because you know that they can pack a punch this time.
Yeah, I mean, Showstopper in the back pocket for Heretics, should they pull it out this time around. On the side of Liquid, looks like we've got the Orbital Strike and the Hunter's Fury. So two very good ultimates to hold on to for the time being. AvovA, the Sky smokes out, looking like we might get a quick hit onto A site here. All but pAura into Shower. Scream finds a headshot though, pAura will fall immediately.
This ultimate's great as well. Scream is just, lights them up, knocks them down. And we said it was the 11th hour, and that's the 11th round. Liquid are just about bringing this back, and it is once again on the back of Scream. I hate that this is the storyline.
6 kills. I hate it, but I love it.
Look, I'll watch it all day long. It's just I didn't expect this one player making such a difference time and time again, but he's able to get away with it. Beautiful positioning to isolate pAura, falls away to the side.
Strike.
Orbital Strike is gorgeous to force them forward, and he just becomes the turret.
Yeah. Really, really good management. And utility and position-wise, good management from Liquid there on the defense.
Okay. 11 to 12. It's OT on the cards, or it's potentially a win. And it's simple again. It's a 3-2 split towards B, but there's a double stack towards the garden here. And Scream is once again in the right place, but let's see if it's the right time. Heretics are now building up this hit. There's nothing subtle to it either, but Scream's isolated pAura again. The fight gets lost, but here comes a bounding ultimate. Scream dodges one side, but loses to the other. AvovA now gets involved, and we are going to be seeing maybe the Spike being toyed with, but no! That's the shutdown! Spike now left in the open, and loWel is the last one standing.
He's got his resurrection, though. He could try and get a teammate back on his feet. That would be huge here to maybe try and recover this round when Liquid have all but done the hard work so far. pAura upgrades his weapon now. We'll find a Phantom on the ground. 2v3 now for Heretics.
And they have just got bodies on that Spike. They do not want to give a chance for them to come back in. Link, up in hand, Kryptix there, soulcas there, wall goes up, gives a new angle, Link gets low, and now it's just pAura left in a 1v3, and they had it all, they were on match point, and now isolates the one close, looks for the fight, needs it clean, not clean enough, we're going all the way, 3 maps going into OT, 12 to 12, Liquid, do the unthinkable.
Switching sides.
I'm going to be honest, I wrote them off. The way Heretics have been playing, obviously the pistol round's got to be a factor when you think about this. I am so impressed. They have clawed their way back to this scoreline. I hate to say it, but I don't want to see, you know, the sloppy mistakes that have happened throughout this series now from Liquid. Don't let the pressure get to you. Don't be messing up easy rounds. Again, I've got to talk about the Scream 3-piece and then walking out window. You've got to say that kind of just gifted that back over to Heretics. You can't make mistakes like that, especially coming to this overtime format in Valorant.
And actually, you know what? For those who aren't in the know, define that OT format if you can. Talk us through what it means, because obviously they're backing good purchases, and Heretics were operating at quite a poor buy for a while.
Yes, yeah.
So this is actually not bad for Heretics to come back in with good money.
I mean, it bails them out of a sticky situation for sure, but obviously round by round we're going to be switching. You've got to win 2 on the bounce in overtime to close this one out. And that's why we may be seeing a little bit of a slower start to these rounds. Obviously, everybody back on with full equipment, full utility. No operators on the board. Obviously now with the change in price for that weapon, it is a consideration to make once we get to overtime. Don't often see them. We're running a glass cannon if you did. But Liquid, again, coming back to this A-short push. Eccles over in showers the owl drone from soulcas. Actually coming all the way through a 1-for-1 trade initially.
Yeah, Scream's still going to push forward here. But as said, he's not going to be the one with the spike. The spike's a little further away. And Eccles has been doing pretty well, if I'm honest. He's actually started to be his, weight in gold at this point. nieSoW and AvovA last two standing, kind of deep at this point. Just as I hype him up. He just gets shock darted down, but an adjustment and a quick rotation, it should at least get them a clean spike plant.
You see this again, all three explode out. Actually, the molly coming all the way through from the defensive spawn. Not going to tag up Link at all, though. No damage done. And it doesn't deny the plant. Recon bolt sent over the top. Not going to find any information with that one. So Heretics walking in blind for this retake.
Yeah, this is going to be rough on the retake. The post plant's substantially better now for Liquid, even if they had gone towards A, this is far superior. And you can see that they're not expecting this much of a wrap through the kind of L-bend. And yeah, soulcas gonna isolate the first. And now nieSoW kind of surrounded on all fronts, tries to make a play for it, but no. Well handled by Liquid, and that's the first strike on the board here.
It is indeed. And that's got to be a big sigh of relief, to claw from that far back to now go ahead. And Heretics with their backs against the wall in overtime. What can they do here? I mean, there's no real standout player in my eyes for Heretics. The way that we're looking at Scream and his input for Liquid, everybody's got to step up here. It's been a team effort thus far for Heretics.
It's match point. I can't believe we've actually got to match point this deep into it. It's the first time we've really seen Heretics with their backs to the wall. They have not been used to playing at a deficit at this point. So Liquid now get the chance to feel what it's like being in control, but it has been a while in the making. Now, early utility in trade out. No subtlety to presence so far.
No. The thing is, actually, Eccles and soulcas going to be forced back over a little bit. Eccles thinking about tucking outside long, but thinking better of it now, and both players occupying elbow. So giving a little bit of this presence, or this control, sorry, to Heretics initially, should they want to push in. And nukkye going to do just that. He is being revealed by that recon bolt, but Heretics gaining control initially. Liquid going to have to rethink this approach. pAura is going to be a factor here. He's all the way down at Fountain. He's got his utility invested. Hopefully going to be able to shut down this flank from Link.
Yeah, Link could be an annoying factor, a nuisance factor for Heretics if he does have success. But let's see. AvovA's getting the first bit of contact, at least near towards him. The wall will be broken. And there's the first kill coming in. That's towards Scream. Big name to pick up at this point. soulcas now going to be called into attention, but that utility still very much in play. nieSoW well played towards Kryptix, and all of the things we were worried about for Liquid for Heretics haven't really come through. Liquid are holding the line here, and they've done very well. Liquid going to be down to just soulcas. Dealt with. Heretics staying alive, 13-13.
And I love the way that played out. I talked about pAura being in that position. Link has to literally walk and full clear every angle in that situation. And it just makes it so difficult for Liquid, because somebody on site has to make a play, has to crack through that line of defense. So pAura doing fantastically well. I mean, that's how we expect to see Cyphers use their utility to shut down those threats. But tying things up, you love and hate to see it. That was difficult viewing right there, Lauren. Yep. That was very difficult viewing.
Yeah. So again, it kind of puts it out there that this is still very much up in the air for both sides, and it's who's got the longevity now, who's got the stamina to keep this level of play up. This has been a long series now. These guys can be put through the ringer, and Liquid have to dig deep again.
Well, that's the thing. Do Liquid have anything in the tank? This has got to be exhausting to fight back. Now, you could talk about momentum, but that was a hell of a comeback to string together that many rounds and take it to overtime in the first place.
Let's see what they've got still to work with. Looking like they kind of implied they were looking towards B for now, but switching up towards A. I'm looking at the kind of counter rotations off the back, and already Scream. A little bit quiet there on the entry, gets isolated himself, put down, but a good trade out comes in.
Yeah, nukkye didn't really need to repeat that. He's already got the value finding the first on the way in, and it being Scream as well. Eccles tagged up a little bit. pAura now with this shower setup. soulcas, no idea that this camera is going to be here, and actually swings out, finds the headshot. Fantastic stuff, 2 from that position, finally traded out by Eccles. Advantage Heretics.
Yeah, they're holding the numbers for now. Now, where do the last two try and make their stand from, though? Where do they try and make their play begin?
30
nieSoW
seconds
seems
left.
aware that showers could still be a possibility, but puts himself in towards lamps. I like this. He's mobile. He's being across the map. He's staying on his feet. He's not being predictable.
20 seconds left on the clock here. nieSoW going to shut down Kryptix. Eccles, last man standing, already tagged up. The slow orb comes down. Molotov denying the default plant. Eccles all the way over on B side now. Going to flash through, maybe find one, but nothing. And now, Heretics, series point.
Switching sides. Match point.
Okay.
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 It's gone from like this kind of potential of this mad comeback. It's happened. And imagine losing in OT after that comeback. That's the reality we're living right now. As Heretics have done incredibly well to stabilize here after having a couple of troubling times, and pAura doubling up on that, exceptional.
Yeah.
True weight in gold in that sort of play. Otherwise, yeah, 1-for-1 trade could have had so many different repercussions, but no, he handled it so well. 14-13 now. Heretics have control of the helm, but they still need to steer this to the very end. But a proactive peek towards long. Scream!
Oh
Scream
my
again!
God.
2 kills. I don't know how he gets away with this. It's murder. It's daylight robbery. But Heretics are still standing with 3. That could have been worse.
God, I don't even want to watch. It's just, they're trading blow for blow. And again, Scream still finding that amount of value just so early. Off the back of a flash and his tailwind. That's it. That's all that's invested to find those 2 kills.
Okay. And now let's use left for the Heretics side, who do have the chance to potentially close out here if they're able to find maybe a pick and build. But you can see now Liquid sitting quite deep. They're not allowing easy picks to happen, but this could open up an opportunity for a spike plant.
This was their demise last time. With that 2v5 clutch from Heretics, Liquid giving them control over, allowing them to plant the spike, waiting out for that rotation from their teammates. I do not want to see history repeat itself here.
Spike planted.
loWel's just going to tank that. Quick heal on himself. Liquid now into a retake, a 4v3. But bear in mind the pressure is mounting. We still have loWel alive towards the site. Kryptix now starts to make his position noted. Turret goes in, baits it, but loWel's now got it back to even footing. It's a 3v3 now, and they have to put everything into this. The pressure's dying him out. nieSoW's found soulcas. Oh, Kryptix has just held on for now as pAura left in the 1v2. His position's not noted.
Oh no!
He gets one.
no!
He gets 2, and that's how they close it. Heretics do them dirty.
That is absolutely huge from pAura. Again, just so much time he's allowed to exist and live there. Again, it's planted for long. They're expecting...